guys, this is Katie coming to you live from my Chromebook. I had a video where I dyed my hair, but it got completely deleted because I accidentally wiped my Chromebook completely. It's all gone. Everything's gone. And this is actually my second time recording this video because the first time I recorded it, and it was like a good video too. First time I recorded it, my laptop just decided to not save it. So here's the story of how I broke my finger and why it still looks like this instead of this. Yeah, it was a lot better the first time I recorded this video, but yeah. January 7th, 2021. I was in 6th grade. Sorry guys, I am, what's the opposite of ancient? Young? Sorry guys, I'm just a little baby, goo goo gaga. Anyways, 6th grade, gym class, second last class of the day, playing this brand new game in gym called belly baseball, which if you haven't played before, it's just like you put up those blue mats at like, okay, our mats are a lot more cushioned than most schools, like mats like that, so, you put up like mats at all the corners or like all the bases or something, and then like it's like kickball, and then like you go to the bases, but then you have to like lie on your stomach or lie on your back to not get out, because then if you don't, then like someone can throw a ball at you basically. And so I'm like, okay, so we're diving onto these mats that are right, like literally touching the brick walls. I'm like, I feel like someone's getting injured today. Did I know the injured would be me? So yeah, so we're going to play. My team's in the field, and I am standing just behind this like one really athletic, like really good at everything kind of guy, And I'm like, okay, I gotta catch this ball, because if I fuck up, he's gonna make fun of me, because this is 6th grade. So, wouldn't you know, the ball comes flying towards me, and it's like just one of those like rubber, like, just a rubber ball, like bouncy ball, It comes flying towards me. I'm like, this is my chance. I was like, kind of had no friends in grade 6. Times, guys, dark times. Anyways, so I try to catch the ball. It hits my finger like this, bends it back, and I'm like, that's not good. And so I still try to catch the ball, because now this guy is like facing me and he's just watching me like, I didn't catch the ball. He had to come over and grab it. That was negative aura loss. Anyways, so I'm just like, what was that? Because when you like hit your pinky finger on something like really hard and it just hurts for a bit, and it's like, well, that's what I thought that was. So I was just like, don't be a wuss about it, don't be a wuss about it, don't be a wuss. I'm being a wuss about it. So I go to sit on the side. But I go up to this girl, and my finger was like a block blast piece. Like, it was like, poof, poof, poof. Like this, but worse, So I go up to this girl, and I'm like, does my finger look normal to you? And she's like, bitch, I don't know. So I go over to the gym teacher, and I'm like, hey, dog, does this look normal? And he's like, you're fine. And I'm like, am I? I think I'm gonna sit out. #wuss. Anyways, so I sit out, and my mom, who works at the school, was coincidentally coming down to the gym at that very moment to go like work with a student or something. And I see her, and I'm like, mom, my finger's messed up. And she's like, girl, you're fine. Let me go back to work. And I'm like, I don't think I'm fine. So now my team is up to bat, and I'm just like being a total wuss. Sorry, I need to stop saying wuss. Get some more vocabulary in. So my team's up to bat, and I'm just sitting there with like an ice pack, and I'm just like, my fingy hurts. And my mom's like, you're fine. If that was broken, you'd be swelling up and bruising by now. I don't know why I'm doing that voice. I sprained my finger in high school, and it was swollen to hell and back. And I'm just like, so then my last class of the day was science, so I just like leave gym and I go back to my classroom, And, like, my teacher, who was, like, super athletic or something, she, like, checks out my finger and she's like, you're fine, you're fine. I'm like, why does it still hurt to move my finger? And so I'm, like, just helping her set up for the next class and stuff, and it just, like, hurts to do anything. So at the end of the day, I go to my mom's room, and she's like, okay, are you gonna stop being a baby about this? I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna stop being a baby about this. And she's like, it's fine, we'll go home, we'll put some ice on it. If you still feel bad in the morning, we'll go to the hospital. And I'm like, yeah, but, like, what if it's broken? And she's like, what if it's broken? So then she takes me to the hospital. And, oh boy. So I get to the hospital, I go to emergency, I get admitted to the room, and my mom just, like, she's like, we're gonna be in the emergency room for, like, 3 hours just to find out it's not broken and go home, because it was, like, COVID times too, right? So I go to emergency, and yeah, they take my vitals, and I'm just waiting there for, like, a couple hours, and then they're like, hey, so there's a woman giving birth in, like, the room right next to you. And I'm like, who? Because I go to a teensy-weensy itty-bitty town. You probably have more people in your entire school than people in my town. What do you mean there's a woman giving birth in the room next to me? We don't do that at this hospital. So the whole time I'm just waiting with my finger in pain while I can hear this woman go, Top 10 traumatic experiences. Anyways, so they come back and they're like, we're gonna do x-rays, and they're like, oh, yeah, bitch, that's broken. In 2 places, 2 or 3. More than one. But, remember how I said I live in the tiniest fucking town ever? They don't really do casts in my hospital. And the casting place, you have to go to the city, and the casting place is only open once a week. And guess what day it was that I broke my finger? Thursday. Guess what day the casting place is only open? Wednesday. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to wait a week to get a cast on this bitch? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay. So they wrap it in a splint, where they basically just, like, put a popsicle stick here and then wrap me up. And I'm like, okay, I will find a photo of this. Alright. This is what they wrap me up in. What is that? Like, oh my god, it looks so much worse in person. But, yeah. So you can imagine my finger didn't have the best support that it needed, or the best, like, whole healing thing, because it was still very vulnerable. And guess who had to sit at the gym for the next, like, month, because we were worried about a ball hitting my hand again, messing up my cast. Anyways, so I wait a week, and we go into the casting place on Wednesday, and we get that bitch casted up. Again, COVID times. Have no idea how I even, like, got in that hospital. I'm pretty sure, I think I'm at, like, I have no idea. But, yeah. So, oh, actually, before they could cast it, they took x-rays of it again, and guess what? It didn't break right. So they had to re-break it. And I didn't know they were going to re-break it. I just knew they had to put a needle in my hand, which was what I would have been most concerned about, because I do not like needles. They were putting, like, a numbing needle in my hand. And so I remember being so scared, and the doctor was just, like, putting the needle in my hand. I was looking at my mom and the nurse saw my mask, and she was like, oh, I like the flowers on your mask. They remind me of Florida. Have you ever been to Disney World? And I was like, I have been to Disney World. And I feel the needle go in. And then I'm like, I can't feel my hand. And then the doctor comes back over. He grabs a pen, he comes back over. And he puts it right here. And I just watch as he does all this. And he presses so hard, I feel a pop. And I'm like, ooh, that felt nice. Felt like when you, like, crack your knuckles. I say that to my mom. My mom, she didn't tell me this at the time, but she was horrified. Because she knew they were re-breaking my finger. I didn't. Yeah. But honestly, I'd do it again. It was kind of a nice feeling. Anyways, so they cast me. And I just have to, like, come back every week or something for, I don't know. I just remember having to come back, like, every week. Maybe I don't know. But I felt really cool because I got all 0 of my friends to sign my cast. Just kidding. I got people in my class to sign my cast. And like my relatives and stuff. Anyways, it was also really awesome because I got to have a scribe for all my tests and stuff. And I like could use like speech to text for all my like assignments. It was awesome. Whole time I conned everyone. I could draw the whole time. I could write, draw, do anything with a pencil the whole time. I'd be like, oh, so sad. I have to learn how to use my left hand for everything now. Nope. I could use my right hand the whole time. Guilty. I was just like drawing and like doing everything. I'd be like, well, I mean, like I can, but it like hurts after a while. It did not hurt that bad. So yeah. Then we go back, we get my cast off, and I'm like, oh yeah. And I had a broken finger before. I broke my thumb when I was like 3 or something, when I was like I was popping bubbles, and my friend popped a bubble when I was gonna pop the bubble. And I fell, because I was gonna pop the bubble, and I fell like this. And I broke my thumb. Cried the whole way to the hospital. Anyways, so I get my cast off, and I'm like, oh, my skin is yellow, because you know when you like, this is gonna sound a little gross, but you know when you wear like an Apple Watch or whatever for like a couple days, and then the skin under it gets a little yucky? Yeah, that was like my whole hand and wrist. So, yeah. And then I was like, hey, why does my finger look like that? It was worse. And the doctors were like, oh, it's because you haven't used the muscle in a while. It'll be fine after a couple days. And I'm like, a couple days go by, and I'm like, gang? Turns out, because I had the splint thing on, the little like bandage thingy, for like a week, that's my finger started to heal in that when it should not have been healing in that. So now my finger, like, this is the straightest I can get it compared to this. And it like, can't go any farther without it hurting or like without having no muscle there. So, yeah. It like, and it took a lot of physio to get here. So then, a couple months go by. A couple months later, I'm at a doctor's appointment. I'm talking to the doctor, and she's like, is there anything else up? And I'm like, yeah, my finger broke it like a couple months ago. It's still like this. And she's like, that's not good. You're getting physio. I'm like, okay. So then I go to physio, do my little exercises. I was supposed to do them a lot more than I did. I think I did them like twice. And it's like, why didn't I do them? Because they were just like 20 reps of closing your hand and opening it again. Like, why was I so lazy? And that's probably why my finger's still like this, because I didn't do my proper physio and stuff. So, yeah. I feel like there's a lot more I had to say, but this is the end now. Bye. Make sure to like and subscribe.